with our loaves. We're going to talk about just how much you're getting and how many pieces of each and how much this thing weighs in a minute. But right now, we're going to go through what you get. You're either going to get our new Lent pie-filled, blueberry pie-filled pound cake or our sour cream chocolate chip. You can get 6 and 6. You can get all 12 of each. Regularly $59. Today it's $54. It comes to about $4.50 a piece, and we're going to go through each one. But what I wanted you to at least see is number one, lemon blueberry. As you can see, what's going through the center of that cake is plenty of blueberry filling. We decided earlier this year to switch out of regular blueberry into blueberry jam, because when you work with jam, I can guarantee you that you're going to get a lot more inside that cake. This is kind of a cross between, let's call it a blueberry jelly donut and a pound cake. I wanted to cross the two between each other. It is a sour cream pound cake that's dressed up a little bit to look like a donut, and it's got plenty of blueberry pie filling in it. Each one of these is, we say 7 ounces, but honestly, I'm holding on to this. I was just comically holding on to that big box, which we'll get to in a moment. It's a total of over 5 pounds, almost 5.5 pounds of cake. We say each one is 7 ounces, but when we make our pound cakes, we're always putting extra in to make sure, number one, it weighs what we say it's going to weigh, but also that you get a little bit more than you ask for. So you have a choice of all 12 lemon blueberry pound cake or all sour cream chocolate chip cake. And the sour cream chocolate chip, there's a story behind that. It's my favorite cake because this is the very first recipe I learned, I think it's 35 years ago. And when I was deciding to leave, as most of you know, I was a banker, then a stockbroker on Wall Street. And probably as a stockbroker, I couldn't pick a good stock with tomorrow's newspaper. So I did not like what I was doing. I had a creative side to me, and on Wall Street, when you get creative, you usually end up in jail. So I had to find a creative outlet. I grew up in an Italian family on the South Shore of Long Island with food at our center, and I know that I love to create. So I discovered my love for baking, and in my travels, I looked for an expert to teach me how to bake, because after all, I have a degree in finance. What do I know about baking? In my travels, I met an 8th-generation baker. His name was Bennett Pakula of Pakula Bakery in Spring Valley, New York. And the sour cream chocolate chip cake was the first thing that he taught me. And that's when I knew I wanted to stick with him to teach me. This cake is got sour cream at its base, which gives you the moisture. But what you're seeing there, that line going through the cake, is probably one of the simplest and best recipes I was taught. It's a combination of brown sugar, cocoa, and cinnamon. I call it kind of a cinnamon crunch. And the cocoa and the cinnamon kind of play off of each other. But when you take a slice of this, and here is a 7-ounce loaf sliced into 6 pieces. So once you understand, at $4.50, I might divide that in half and say, this is a $2 event. This is the one that you want to put in the microwave for a piece like this, maybe 10 seconds. Now, up to me, I would be buying the combo. Let's take a look at really what you get, because a lot of times when I'm in the studio and they have things spread out nicely, you don't really see the impact of what's arriving at your door. But this is what you're getting. You're getting a box. I can barely fit myself in this in the same setting. Okay, you're getting a box of 12 of these pound cakes. That is a lot of pound cake, which is why at $4.50 a piece, you're getting at least 2 servings. In reality, if you're like me, you rip off a piece, put it back in the refrigerator, and it'll last in the refrigerator a week, 10 days. I frankly have never had a piece of pound cake go bad in my refrigerator. These are going to come to you. We're going to bake these. We're going to deliver them to you individually wrapped as you see. You're going to take them and either put them in the refrigerator or the freezer. You can keep them out at room temperature if you want, but for me, best eating quality is put them in the fridge or the freezer. Freezing wise, last for months. Refrigerator, quite honestly, we say a week or two. But I've had these in my refrigerator, you know, in the back when you forget about them. I've had them there for a month. Pull them out, come to room temperature. I like to eat my cakes chilled, as you've heard me say over the year. But again, normally $59. Today we're down to $54, or 3 easy pays of $17.99. I think that might make it more palatable. But again, when this comes to your door, you might hear a thud from the UPS driver, because this is over 5¼ pounds of cake. What inspired me to do pound cakes was really you. You actually, as we were doing crumb cakes over the years, you actually loved the cake so much. You said, some of you, believe it or not, don't love a lot of crumb. And what you really wanted was just a piece of cake. And the greatest flattery is when a few of you said to me, you know what, your crumb cake, the cake portion, really kind of stands on its own. Well, that crumb cake is a sour cream coffee cake, which should stand on its own, and you should be able to eat that cake as it's not overly sweet, it's not bready, it's cakey. And what is the secret ingredient but our sour cream? Individually wrapped and baked in these cups. And one of the reasons I bake in these cups, or the main reason I should say, is not better illustrated than when you look at that. As you can see, there is no charring on the outside of that cake. That cake is baked nice and light on the outside. And the challenge we have in baking is that often, if you bake in a metal pan, the outsides are going to be baked long before the inside's going to be baked. So you're going to get a seared outside, a dry outside. And if there's one thing I've learned, I think this is year 12 on QVC. That the QVC customer does not like dry. They love moist and they like flavor. For me, the place to be is in the combos. You can get 6 of the blueberry jam, or blueberry donut if you want to call them that, and 6 of the sour cream chocolate chip. Okay, let's categorize them. The blueberry donut is when you're feeling a little crazy. You want something sweet. You want something really to hit home. You slice it. It's got that great citrus lemon running through it now. Not killer lemon. We call lemon blueberry. It's a lemon note complemented with some vanilla notes. But really going throughout this cake is just plenty of blueberry jam. So we want that in every bite for you to enjoy this. I wanted to come as close to a jelly donut experience as I could. Now, I have to say, I haven't had anybody tell me, but I think this might actually work in the microwave. And again, this cake, unlike the cinnamon roll, does not have to be microwaved 30 seconds. It's only like 10 seconds. This is a half of a loaf. Now, you look at that. That's something I might split with Cindy at 8 o'clock at night after we're looking just for a little something after dinner. But this is plenty of cake. So if you split this, you could easily say there are 3 or 4 servings in each of these 7 ounces. It's a lot of cake. So if you're buying 12 and you get the combo, that is my suggestion. There are, I have to say, how can I say, those who have their beliefs. I think sour cream chocolate chip over the years, I've discovered a following who will just eat that and nothing else but that. They don't buy cinnamon rolls. They don't buy muffins. They buy sour cream chocolate chip cake. And it's typically people who remember the days of the scratch bakery. That sour cream chocolate chip cake is probably, the recipe itself is easily over 100 years old. And we stay true to it by beefing up the sour cream in it and making sure you get plenty of that crunch. That happens to be a great shot. If you look on the top of that cake, you're going to see that cinnamon, brown sugar, cocoa crunch on top. That's what carries this over. And I will tell you that once you put that in the microwave, again, only for about 10 seconds, you're going to caramelize the brown sugar a little bit. And again, 10 seconds to 15 seconds is all you really need to take this to the next level. Now, this is the cake, by the way, that you would, if you're like me, and you're really thinking about going over the top, you're going to take one of these slices and you could heat up a skillet, little butter in it, and toast these on either side. And if you remember the days of pound cake and ice cream, this is the one that'll make the day. Vanilla ice cream. Cindy chooses chocolate, but when we do this for the kids, it's usually we toast it up, we put a little scoop of vanilla or a little scoop of chocolate. And again, look, there's 6 of these slices, just enough. If you wanted more than 1 slice, I would say for a really healthy serving, you're going to get 2 slices. So again, At $4.50 a loaf, or 7+ ounces, you're going to get 2 or 3 servings per. So certainly, in my opinion, you're getting a lot of cake for what you're paying for. This again is, picture this. This is going to come to your door, and it is big. This is gonna leave a mark on your front porch when he drops this. It is it feels more to me. It feels certainly more than 5 pounds, but like I said, officially we're going to tell you it's 5¼ pounds. But my bakers are instructed to, as you see the sour cream chocolate chip cakes on the other side of the screen, they're instructed to fill and overfill, quite literally. We don't want to even cut it close. We want this to be more than you ask for so that you're not disappointed. The other thing is we want to put more than you ask for in terms of sour cream, and also the oils and flavors that we use. We want moisture. That's what you love. You don't want dry. And if you don't want it dry, it'll come to your house. You put it right in the fridge. You're going to pay today $53.98 or 3 easy pays of $17.99, which makes it more palatable. 5¼ pounds of cake. And my vote is the combo. The combo, again, some of you are fanatical about the sour cream chocolate chip. I know the lemon blueberry loaf cake or jelly donut was introduced this year, and it is the fastest growing of all the flavors. We've got the sour cream chocolate chip fans who've been there for many, many years, but since we introduced the lemon blueberry, we've got real converts coming over. And that's our goal, is to give you plenty of blueberry jam inside. So I really wanted to mimic, I don't know, I haven't been in a donut shop in a while, but I just remember as a younger guy, when I'd walk into the bakery, I'd get a jelly donut filled with jelly. I remember a few times going to the national chains and trying to understand why they would put so little in that would create a disappointing experience. I want you to come back. Speaking of satisfaction, I have to point something out. You actually, I neglected to tell you, in case you haven't figured it out, you're in the test kitchen. This is where we are right now. This is where the lemon blueberry pie was invented. This is where it all starts. You're in my bakery. It's up in Wappingers Falls, New York, about 60 miles north of New York City, in rural, beautiful Dutchess County. Why here is because it was very inspiring. I happened to wander here one day, a friend who owned this bakery before I did, and he wanted me to take over the bakery. It was easy. Cow country, horse country is just north of here. Apple picking is to the west of here. It's beautiful country here and very inspiring. Since we came up here, this is the test kitchen, and I really take a lot of pride in the fact that when we do these Q2s, I come to you from the actual place where I live and breathe. Now it's Saturday and I'm here, and one of the reasons I love Saturdays, no phones, no interruptions, just an occasional Q2 Skype call. I get to create, and of course, working on things that are up and coming. Again, today we're talking about sour cream chocolate chip. My sentimental favorite, baked in paper cups so that we do not sear the outside of the cake, coming individually wrapped to you. But I just love the fact that you can be guaranteed that you're not going to get a dry piece of cake by simply taking care of your cake when you get it, stick it in the refrigerator, put it in the freezer. But ultimately, you want to take a slice and you want to throw it in the microwave for mere 10 seconds. $54 gets you nearly 5½ pounds of cake. You'll hear a big thud at your door when the UPS drops it because the box is huge. My personal recommendation is I would like to show you the best of both worlds. I like the combo. I love that shot. I could stare at that piece of cake all day, but that's me. Anyway, this is it. This is nearly, this is heavy. I don't know how we say, I have to weigh this. I think it's heavy. I actually think it's heavier than I can't get the whole thing in the shot, but that's what you're getting. This is going to arrive to your door. It's going to arrive to your door filled with pound cake. You're going to put it in the freezer, 7 ounces plus a piece, 12 of them in a box. Choose between all sour cream chocolate chip or all lemon blueberry. The proper care of this is, the reason we want you to keep them cold is, some of you have said to me, you don't like it when the cake is too cold, and you're frantic about it staling. So I will guarantee you, if you put this on your counter for It will last in its wrapper for anywhere between 3 and